Yeah. Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. We are live on YouTube. It's 93 degrees. I'm at Red Morton Park. I didn't want to go to the other side on the trail today. It would have been about maybe 5 to 10 degrees cooler there. But yeah, it's warm. This this heat wave we've been having here in Northern California has been has been affecting us. Definitely has been affecting us. Oh man, and we don't have AC at the house, so we have fans going, and at night it cools off. So we open up the windows, and then we close the windows during the day because you don't want to let the hot air come in, right? But anyway, happy Independence Day to everybody out there. Happy 4th of July if you are here in the U.S. with me, with Don and I, that is. And if you're not from the U.S., then please feel free to partake in the celebration with us. And please also let us know when your Independence Day is in your country, and we can always celebrate it here on the Coach Eli television network. So today I'm going to be talking about, we're halfway through 2024. July 1st is the halfway point, right? And typically, I talk about this halfway through the year thing on the 4th of July. That's when I typically talk about it because, Independence Day is typically a chill day. And it has been a pretty chill day for Don and I. We've just been hanging around the house, resting, not really doing much, just resting because, on every other day, we're going full steam ahead, full speed ahead to take care of things around the house, take care of the dogs, go to appointments. I'm running around everywhere doing YouTube stuff and running other errands, getting medication for Dawn, and just doing this and that. Today, we just chilled, we slept in. I got up and I took care of a few things, and I went back and I slept in with Dawn, and we've just been relaxing. So we're going to talk about, the fact that we're halfway through the year. And what's up next? What's coming next here to the Coach Eli television network? Because a lot of people are wondering, hey, now that the drama is done, a lot of people have actually, talked to me privately, some publicly in the comments section, and they've said, it's really nice that it's been peaceful around these YouTube streets lately. It really has. It really has. A lot of people are saying they hope that this isn't just the calm before the storm, right? I believe Tia was mentioning that in the comment. And Tia, I understand why you would say that. I completely understand why you would say that because in the past with these types of groups, these types of fake instigated drama, hate groups, however you want to call them, in the past, they make deals. They would make deals saying, hey, we have a peace agreement. And basically the peace agreement has always been a one-way peace agreement to try to shut us up so they can keep coming at us, using us for content and making money at our expense. And I get why you would say that. But like I also responded in the comment section to Tia, and I'll say to other people, I really do think this is finally over. The Coach Eli drama is finally over after just over 6 years of it constantly happening. Now, are there always going to be some people out of the blue that are going to make a community posting or do a video. I mean, are people still gonna every now and then try to trash myself and Don? Sure, but I honestly, firmly believe that the efforts of the production level that was put into it for all this time through these groups that were getting paid to do it, I firmly believe that that level of production on Coach Eli content is done. And I'll tell you, folks, it feels like a breath of fresh air because, there's nothing, better than to start the second half of the year with like no drama, none of this drama. You know what I mean? Let me get into the shade here and check out the chat. I'm right by the baseball field, Kiwanis Field, where I used to play baseball, Little League. Howdy, AZ Pride. Hey, Tia, how are you doing? Happy Independence Day to you, AZ Pride and Tia. Hey, Mike S., how you doing? Happy Independence Day to all of you. Happy 4th of July. It is hot, so I'm hoping my phone doesn't overheat. I'm hoping it doesn't. Anyway, so we're going to talk a little bit more about what's coming up during the second part of the year. I want to also take this opportunity to apologize to anyone that was offended by the stream I did yesterday, the political stream on Joe Biden and Donald Trump. I am very grateful and thankful at how mature the people that have been supporting Don and I responded yesterday. Many of you had a difference of opinion because many of you are Trump supporters and you are more on the right. I'm a little bit more on the left, more so down the middle. But I'm left-leaning. Many of you are more right-leaning, right? And despite all that, I want to thank each and every one of you for being able to respectfully disagree. I've always said this. It's not about, whether you agree or disagree, but if you disagree, respectfully disagree. And don't attack the person. If you're going to, not even attack, if you're going to respond to a person, respond on the principle of the matter or the point at hand, not attacking the person. That's called an ad hominem attack. And I'm very, very grateful and thankful to pretty much our entire supporting audience here. For the most part, most of you are conservatives and Trump supporters. The level of maturity and the fact that you didn't use any ad hominem attacks, you were very professional, you stated your differences of opinion, and you're here to support another day. God bless you. It shows your maturity. It shows that we can have conversations that involve critical thought, and we can also learn from each other's differences, right? We can also learn from both sides and hopefully end up, becoming one and united, right? If I'm waiting because this one dude is in my path and he stopped to let his dog piss. Let me wait for him. All right. Here's another shady spot. Let me check out the chat real quick. Tia says, no apologies needed. Thank you, though. We all have our opinions. Well, I appreciate you saying that, Tia. It really shows your level of maturity, and it just shows the kind of person you are. And I believe you, Tia. You have a big heart and soul. You're a good person. You're a good human being. But despite all that, despite being cool about it, I've always been the kind of person that, I like to own stuff. I like to own it, meaning that, hey, I understand some people may take offense to these types of topics. But it was a topic that was requested by Richard T. And I wanted to respect the guy. He's been coming around and supporting the channel for a while. And I knew it was going to be a very controversial topic. And I don't really like talking about politics because I don't want to offend anyone. I love everyone. I don't care if you're left, right, or down the middle or whatever, right? I think the whole political party system is bullshit. But these things need to be talked about. And I think the reason why, well, at least the reason why I talk about them is because my goal is to try to unite people once again, not further divide people. Sorry, I'm losing my verbiage. I apologize. My goal has always been to unite people and not further divide people, such as what's been happening here in our country. You know, I'll share an interesting story. Many of you, in spite of some crazy things that happened last year regarding my business, you've heard of my business, the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short, where we've pretty much taken everything online. We're probably going to run some in-person events in the future, but we haven't run any. I can't even talk. We haven't run any in-person events for a little while. But when we used to run them regularly, we used to run them regularly. There were many people in the Central Valley area where I networked. I networked all over Northern California in person. But the people in the Central Valley area, I'm sure you've heard of the town called Modesto. It's where Scott Peterson used to live with his wife, Lacey, and their unborn child. Remember when he murdered them? That Modesto area, by the way, it's like been 110 to 115 in Modesto in that valley area. But that Modesto area, I ran an event in Modesto at the Clarion Hotel. I ran events in Stockton, which is about 45 minutes north of Modesto. I ran events in Tracy, Lodi, all across, even in Sacramento. And I'll tell you this, the interesting thing is this, even though California is primarily a liberal state, the majority of the liberals live in the bigger cities. In the smaller areas, it's all conservative. So the interesting thing is, the majority of people that I networked with in the Central Valley area, which is, right over the hill from the San Francisco Bay Area going east, right? The majority of the people are conservative, or they were conservative, and they still are. And they were the nicest people in the world. And we didn't really talk much politics, but I would overhear people talking about politics, and I just didn't get involved. But I loved those people. They were good people. They wouldn't project their politics onto you. They would just share their opinions in friendly ways, and that was that. And that was that. And it wasn't until I came out here on YouTube and I started to engage with some very extreme conservatives from the Midwest and the South that I started getting attacked as a liberal. They started calling me a libtard. You folks have heard the phrase libtard, right? They also called me a liberal sack of shit, right? I'll mention it, doesn't matter, because this guy doesn't really talk about me anyway. J.B. Gunner has called me all that, right? And a lot of these people that I met when I first started running the coaching business over 6 years ago on a channel that no longer exists, a lot of these men that went through divorce and were sharing their stories about being taken in their marriage, financially, right? A lot of these men were conservative extremists. And let me make something very clear here. Like, I don't have a problem with conservatives. I look at I look at the real and regular conservatives in the same ways I look at liberals. I have a problem with extremism one way or the other. Like I mentioned yesterday, I have a problem with extremism one way or the other. So, you're looking at the radical left. We call it the radical left because a lot of the radical left stems from radical feminism, and there are a lot of women that women are equal nowadays, and that's great. I'm all for that. Women have equal rights. But some women on the radical left feel that women should have special privileges above and beyond, the rights that men have never had. And so we call that the radical left, and then on the far right we call that the right-wing extremists, right? The conservative extremists, right? Another way to look at it is the alt-right. Now, I've also said in the past that the alt-right primarily supports Trump, right? And if you support Trump, you're more so alt-right. There are a lot of regular conservatives that do support Trump. I'm beginning to more so see that. And if I've offended you in any way, shape, or form, I apologize. I'm just stating my opinions. But what I'm trying to say here at the end of the day is that we're all people. What this all, I'm gonna share a story right now that I think I've shared it once before, but it's been a long time. And it really opened up my eyes. It really opened up my eyes. And a lot of you that have followed me for a while, hang on a second here. By a repair guy, happy 4th of July, Eli chat. And Raleigh, I'll share my thoughts about ham radio in a little bit too. I'm going to do 3 laps today. How you doing, by a repair guy? Raleigh, Tia, by a repair guy, hey. I want to share a story regarding what really opened up my eyes to what I just said. And I've always really felt that way. I just didn't even realize how I was coming off. So, most of you have either heard of my ex-girlfriend Dana, or you were a part of my channel that I used to run with her back in those days, back in 2017 and 2018. Dana and I split up in the middle of 2018, towards the end of summer of 2018. And it was a pretty big deal. It was a pretty big public breakup. I mean, these people really, really, really just went off on that for the longest time. And every now and then they'll mention it today. But I want to mention something very positive that I took away. Listen, I'm not nothing bad to say about Dana. It just wasn't meant to be. I was meant to be with Dawn. And I'm very happy with Dawn. Okay. And Dana's a good person. She was a good person. Just wasn't meant to be, But as far as her father goes, her father told me something. And at the time that he told it to me, I was pretty pissed off, but I kept my cool. But he was absolutely right. Dana's dad was absolutely right. And it was basically the week before that Dana broke it off with me. I had joined her and her family, on a family vacation near the Tahoe area at a place I believe was called Jackson Meadows, if I remember it correctly, right? And we were going to be there for, I think, how long was it? 5 days or so? I think it was 5 days. It was like the 4th or 5th day. That was like the night before we were going to head back, or 2 nights before we were going to head back. It was in the early evening. And we were sitting at a table, and we were just about to eat dinner. And I had mentioned something, I was talking about men and women. And Dana's dad got kind of a little bit snippy and pissed and said, it's not about men and women, Eli, it's about people. It's about people. And I heard him say that. And I was like, the last person I want to piss off is the father of the woman that I'm seeing, right? Because I always had a lot of respect for her parents. She had very, very good parents like mine. And when I heard Dana's dad say that deep within, I was thinking to myself, I can't get a break. Nobody understands where I'm coming from. Nobody understands what I'm trying to do to help people, to try to get people to understand the modern world differences between men and women, and why a lot of relationships fail and marriages fail and yada, 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 right? And I didn't realize that he was right until probably a few years after Dana and I split up, after Dana broke up with me. I mean, when Dana broke it off with me, even though I had taken her for granted and never thought she would do it, it hurt for a long time. It hurt, and I appeared like I had gotten over it, right away, but I didn't. I did not. I was not over it. It was eating me up inside. It was. And what was also eating me up is what her dad told me. When we talk about issues with men and women, it's not about men and women, it's about people in general. And he's right about that. He was right. It's about people. We're all people. Now, don't get me wrong. Men and women are biologically different, and we process our emotions differently. And it's very weird nowadays, Some women act like men with more masculine energy, and some men act like women with more feminine energy. And it's just really weird, the dynamics between men and women. So those are things that we have to address at times, or more than at times. And it's not easy to put out there because, when you talk about this to people that, are not involved online, or, are not aware of the modern world relationship dynamics, just like Dana's parents. They were old school. They didn't know what MGTOW was. They didn't know about all these online groups that men have created to combat the groups women created to offset, radical feminism and all that. So, when you're talking about these things to the average everyday person, they're going to think you're nuts. And they're like, okay, this is not about men or women, Eli, it's about people. And he's right. What I further also realized from that conversation is that, you're not going to please everyone. I've always tried to please everyone. I've always wanted to be friends with everyone and help everyone turn their lives around. But I've even grown to realize that what I do out here on YouTube to help people has an intended market. It's not for everyone. And many, if not most people, even though they need help and they know it probably turned their life around to, follow my channel and hear the stories that Don and I share based on our experiences, even though they know it would help, they'll never give us a chance. That's just the truth of the matter. So the reason why I even mentioned this is because I appreciate what you were saying, Tia. But I've always been the type of person that likes to explain myself and preface with things, and I try to do my best to not offend people. The truth of the matter is, if you stand for something, even if it's good, other people that disagree with it or aren't on the same page may take offense to it. And you can't always worry about the people that are going to take offense to, how you want to live your life and how you want to help people and how you feel the right way is to do things and to coach people, help people, etc., right? So, as far as what Dana's dad was saying, the reason why I said he was right is not because necessarily it wasn't right for me to talk about men and women individually. What I took away from that is that I've got to know my audience, and I've got to learn. I had to learn my audience. It's a better way to put it, because I pretty much figured it out by now. I've had to learn my audience, and I've got to know when to talk about certain things and when to keep my mouth shut. And that family gathering, that vacation with Dana's family and friends and all that, I should have never brought up what I brought up. The reason why I brought it up is because they were talking about work and business and what you do for a living and this and that. And, at that point, I was, still selling insurance. But I was also telling them about the YouTube thing and the coaching business and how I want to transition out of insurance and do this full time. And that's what I've pretty much done now. But I still should have known my audience and not mentioned certain things in that type of environment. So going forward in 2024, for the rest of 2024 and beyond, our content here has an intended audience. We're not a drama channel. We're not an entertainment channel. Can we be entertaining? Sure. Anyone can be entertaining at times regarding anything you present, right? Okay? So again, we're not a drama channel. We're not an entertainment channel. Are we saying that there will never be any drama on here again? I hope not. I hope not, but if people try to come at myself and Don again in different communities, or if the same community tries to start it back up, then we have to defend ourselves. We will. We just hope that we don't. Our intent for the rest of this year, the second half of 2024 and beyond, is to focus our content, laser focus it on people that truly not only appreciate who Don and I are and like who we are, but also get value from our content, get value from what we talk about, get value from our stories, okay? And like I've always said, that's why Don and I share so much of our personal life with you folks. Now, a lot of people have said we share way too much. Maybe so. I'd like to say we share more than the average person does, but trust me, there's a lot of stuff we haven't shared that we will never go public on. There are always going to be things that should stay in-house, right? So those things will stay in-house. But even compared to the average everyday couple, Don and I have shared a lot more than most other couples would share. We do that because we have stories, we have experiences, we've been through things, we've had our struggles, and we found ways to overcome them. And we want to share those ways with you folks on how we overcame those struggles. We want to be able to relate to you folks because, for me, what buys me into any creator is relating to them. If I can relate to you in some way, shape, or form, like if you're talking about computers, if you're talking about personal development, if you're talking about how to better penetrate the YouTube algorithm, if you're talking about something that I perceive value in and have interest in, I will buy into you, right? So again, what we're looking to further create and develop here over the next 6 months this year, and then starting off really strong in 2025, is connecting further with people like we have here already, like Tia, like Lucy, like AZ Prod, Richard T, Stana Palacio, Queen Helen Casey, Lewis Fuller, and many more. We want to further connect with more people like you folks that truly support us for who we are and what we talk about, and you get value from what we talk about. And so the real test is going to be, we had a very, very good month. Probably one of the best months we've ever had on YouTube. Even when I was doing it alone. Like last month was the best month I've ever had on YouTube. Through ad revenue and super chats, super stickers, memberships, all that. And we're grateful and thankful for that. But let's see what happens in July. Let's see, who's here that's going to truly continue supporting. And I'm not mentioning that to complain or anything. I'm just saying that we're looking to cater our content to the right intended audience. So, we're on lap 2. So Raleigh, let me respond to you regarding something you put out there. I'm sorry about that, Raleigh. They're doing a full entire video on this. The video is going to last 5-10 minutes, so I'm sorry it's not feasible for me to do a full-blown video. But Raleigh, Value Repair Guy, was asking in the comment sections, what are my thoughts about ham radio? Ham radio is also known as non-commercial radio. And basically, ham radios, you could actually, broadcast out of your own place. And typically you have a similar range as regular radio stations have. But if you have high-powered equipment, ham radios, if you have a big antenna sky high on your roof and you have repeaters and amplifiers and all that shit, you can actually broadcast up to 4,000 miles away. Now, a typical ham radio is going to broadcast anywhere from, like half a mile radius to 300-mile radius. And ham radios were created to, in my opinion, Raleigh, to do what the internet is now currently doing. So basically, the internet right now, has all the information and much, much more than you could get from ham radio, because you had people out there that could, speak freely and this and that. And yes, it is regulated by the FCC, but it's not commercial. And you don't have to worry about, what the sponsors think about what you're saying, because when you're on commercial TV, And YouTube's commercial TV. What I say out here, if it's deemed that it's not suitable for most advertisers, I'll get demonetized on that video. On commercial TV like ABC, CBS, Fox, NBC, etc., right? That's commercial TV. The sponsors dictate the content. And the sponsors will choose what shows they want to sponsor and what shows they don't. On ham radio, you're free to do whatever you want to do for the most part. You do have to abide by FCC regulations. But I think ham radio was used as a way to get out information that we now get out through the internet much quicker. Do I think ham radio still has a place in the modern world? I mean, I think we've advanced beyond ham radio. Why use ham radio when you can broadcast live on YouTube globally, all over the world? Now, Raleigh, when you and I were growing up, I never had a ham radio. I had some friends that were into that kind of stuff. And it was cool back then because it was like cutting edge stuff, right? But in the modern world, with YouTube and other social media platforms, but let's just say YouTube, I mean, not only can I broadcast from my home studio in high quality, but I can also broadcast like I'm broadcasting right now from mobile on my smartphone, which smartphones weren't around back then. Technology has advanced. And in my opinion, I'm not knocking ham radio or ham radios and people that want to operate ham radios or ham radio stations. But you're going to get a lot further on YouTube. Now, do you have more flexibility on the ham radios than you do on YouTube? Yes. You have a little more flexibility. You still have to abide by FCC regulations. And on YouTube, it's not FCC. YouTube is the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. It's different, right? But quite frankly, as long as you present your message in a professional manner, which you should be doing that anyway, you can pretty much say whatever you want to say on YouTube, as long as you say it professionally and maturely, and you'll be fine. And you'll have a greater reach, a greater potential reach than, ham radios. So my opinion, ham radios were like the internet of the past. Are they still cool to tinker with if you have the time and you're old school and that's the way you want to go? Yeah, cool. For me, YouTube is the ham radio replacement. I hope that makes sense. Let me get some shade here, and I will check out the chat here. Give me a second here. Lucy with the $49.99. Jesus Christ, Lucy. I didn't know it's Lucy. Oh my God, Lucy, you're making me feel very guilty. That's very kind of you, Lucy. Wow. Again, Lucy, I really hope this is disposable income to the point of where it's not affecting your family. I'm not trying to question you. I just, you've been extremely supportive, Lucy, and see, I'm sweating. I am sweating in my pits. Sorry, that was unprofessional. Wow, I don't even know what to say. I'm sorry, Lucy. That's just the way I am. I'm grateful. I'm honestly grateful. Unlike these other people that think I'm a phony and not grateful, I truly am grateful. I mean, you've spent a lot of money just to hear me talk, and at times hear Don talk. That's it. I'm gonna be real with you. It's the truth of the matter. I'm sweating in my pit. I am. I am sweating in my pit. Evening, everyone. Last of our comps just left. I'm exhausted. Happy 4th, everyone. Are you talking about, did you have guests at your house? What do you mean by that, Lucy? Be more specific because it's hot and I'm not thinking properly today. Thank you so much once again for your $49.99, aka $50 super chat. God bless you. God bless you. Wow. That's Vin S on a new account with a $4.99. Wow, Vin S, thank you so much, brother. It's much cooler here on the spot and I can see the screen. Give me a second. Vin S with the $4.99 super chat. Let me give you a heart and a like. In honor of show 757 and the great state of Washington. That's Washington, right? Greetings from C and happy 4th. Amen, brother. That was supposed to say company. Oh, your company at your house. Oh, okay. Lucy, we used to call comps in the corporate world, comparative sales or comparison sales. You compare your comp sales to the previous month or the previous year, same day previous year. So I was thinking to myself, she's saying comps. Is she working on the 4th? Is she running her business on the 4th? And she beat her numbers from last year. That's why she sent me $50. I was trying to figure it out, Lucy. W7, thanks so much, says Tia. W7 757 and home of Boeing. Not sure it's great. Well, they make great planes. Lucy is crying out of laughter. Well, that's what I thought. I was like, is she working and comparing her sales to this day from last year? Like you know what comps are in the business world, comparative or comparison sales, right? But you meant your company just left at your place. Thank you again, Lucy, for your $49.99 super chat. And thank you, Vin SW7, for your $4.99 super chat. Happy Independence Day to each and every one of you. I'm going to be doing a 3rd lap today. And then I'm going to go to the supermarket. They're actually still open. I believe they all close early for the fireworks tonight. I was thinking about broadcasting the fireworks live from our deck tonight with Don and I. Last year, we did a pre-recorded show and we put it on the main channel. And I told Don this year, I think I'm going to take the day off. So I don't know if that upsets anyone or if you would have preferred us to do a live stream watching the fireworks from our place or doing a pre-recorded video. But Don and I, we've been so tired. We've been working overtime. And, I've been, man, it's warm. Even though it's like 90 degrees now, even though it's not as hot as the valley, like 110 or 115, 90 degrees is still hot. Especially when you're used to having 70, 75 degree weather here most of the time. Yes, we had 30 people here. Wow. Lucy says, yeah, I know. W7, we don't get dark until 10-ish in Seattle. It's a little late for me. most times. Wow, really? Yeah, it starts getting dark here at around 9 o'clock, and typically the fireworks will start around 9:15. So, what I was saying is that, Don and I have been just working so many hours and doing so many things, and I've never created this much content. And it's all been long live streams, not a single pre-recorded piece of content. Driving with Purpose streams, members only live streams from the couch, streams from the studio, streams from me walking, and having an average of, we almost came close to 9,000 watch hours in a 28-day period. We're still above 8,000. It's not going to always be at that level. And if it gets to that, if it stays at that level or grows higher, it'll be because we're getting more views. I've just got to come out and say, I cannot sustain the level of content I've been creating forever. I'm still going to be creating a lot of content, but I'm probably going to be cutting back to probably around 5 to 7 pieces of content per week. I mean, I've been literally doing 15 to 20 pieces of content a week. And I've just been exhausted. Salute 07, Tia and Lucy. Hey, Raleigh, how you doing? Did you hear my thoughts about hammering? Oh my gosh, wait a minute. Tia with the $20. Oh gosh, Tia, Jesus, what? Oh gosh, Tia, I just noticed that you just sent a super chat. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Happy 4th to all. Oh man. Geez. Thank you, Tia. I know. I felt bad about you donating before too. I won't go down that road with you again. You've already responded to me. I just, you and Lucy and a few others. God bless you. God bless you, ladies. You've helped. Let's just put it this way. Yes, you have helped me out a lot, but it's more so for Dawn, which does help me out. I'm grateful for it. But, when that money comes in on the 20th or 21st, goes into my check and I Zelle it over to her. Zelle, you can do free instant transfers from your checking to someone else's checking. That's all going into Dawn's account, but nevertheless, here's an interesting point, folks. Like, I don't expect this level of support from anyone. I don't expect anything really. It's nice to get the support though. But you've got these people. You got Tia, you got Lucy, and you got Vin S. And you've got also Raleigh, who's been a big supporter too, monetarily. And those 4 people alone have made a big difference in helping Dawn and I get by until we figure out what we're going to do, with her seizure condition or seizure disorder. I'm grateful for it. I'm stating this because even 4 people, even 2 or 3 or 4 people can make a big difference to change your life. And really, seriously, want to thank you folks for that. Just imagine, whoever wants to start a YouTube channel, all you really need is maybe 20 or 30 or 40 decent supporters. A lot of people think this is more difficult than it is. So I encourage anyone to start a YouTube channel and put yourself out there and just provide some value. And if you're likable and people, gain value from your content, they'll donate to you without you even asking. Give me a second, folks. We're at 50 minutes. Gotta take a phone call, be back. Okay, Lucy. Thank you. You're welcome. You're a good guy. Well, thank you, Tia. You know what really sucks, Tia? Let me tell you. Because I think, see, this is what I like about you, Tia, is that you're the kind of person that you and I are both good people, and we can disagree on something like the presidency and politics, and respectfully disagree and still support each other, right? That blows my mind, Tia, because that's a good human being right there. That's a good human being. That's all I've ever been trying to preach out here. Even with these other groups we used to be a part of, or used to be a part of us, or however you want to say it. All I've ever said was, hey, look, why can't we just respectfully disagree? And you and Lucy display that perfectly. And it blows my mind because that's all I've been trying to preach out there is say, hey, look, we're not all going to agree on everything. We're going to probably disagree most of the time. But it's how we disagree. And how do we learn from our disagreements, right? I want to learn from you folks why you support certain things. I want to learn your thoughts and your reasonings when it comes to your political views and stuff like that. And I want to learn from it respectfully because I respect how you folks are handling it. I'm fascinated by how people think and how people make decisions. I'm fascinated, and I want to learn more about that because I think we can all learn more about what affects us at a human behavioral level when we disagree. Like, I've seen so many people become friends out here on YouTube, for example, or even in the real world. I've seen people be friends for years, and then all of a sudden they find out they have a difference in their political opinion, and then one side says, oops, I can't be your friend anymore. I've dealt with people like that, online and offline. And I sat there like a deer in headlights. I'm like, so the 3 or 4 or 5 year friendship we had before you found out that I'm a liberal and you're a conservative, it doesn't matter. What all that matters to you is if I have the same political views or not. I've had friends in the real world, when they found that out, boom, they were out. Discredited an entire 5 year friendship off of something stupid, right? And to really see people coming over here now and having a difference of opinion and still being respectful and supportive blows my mind. Sandra Palacio, for example. Where are you, Sandra? If you're around, say hi. If not, say hi on the replay or something. Sandra Palacio, I met her through the JB Gunner community. She used to be a part of JB Gunner's community. Conservative, political commentator, right? I knew Sandra was always on the right, but Sandra reached out to me. She used to live here in the Bay Area. She just moved back east like 6-7 months ago or 8 months ago. She's a Bay Area native. We became good friends, and she's been a moderator here on my channels for like the last, 4 years now or so? And I always knew she was full-blown conservative. But I always respected her because hey, there were things we agree on and things we disagree on. And when we disagree, she's respectful with her disagreements. And I'm grateful and thankful for our longtime friendship, Sandra. And I'm grateful and thankful for the fact that you saw who I really am long time before most people did. Like, Sandra's been a part of this for, gosh, probably almost 5 years, huh, Sandra? The first year you were with JB Gunner, but probably for a good 4.5, at least almost 5 years, Sandra. I like Sandra, says by a pair guy. Lucy's back, yeah. Um, I was going to say something and I totally forgot. So, again, we've been talking about where are we heading towards the rest of 2024. I started to talk a lot. I started to talk a lot about this earlier on this year, but I think now is the right time to really start to put it out there again and get more people involved. Where's the fire truck going? Hold on a second. I'm trying to hear where the fire truck is going so I don't cross the street and it runs me over. I don't want the big red truck to run me over here. Man, I was going the opposite way. So, what I really want to start doing is connecting more so with people behind the scenes. And the best way to do it is through Facebook Messenger. We have the Coach Eli moderator group page, or the Coach Eli moderator group chat, sorry, on Facebook Messenger. And I'm looking to start connecting with more people there. Now, I'm going to make it very clear. A lot of people in the past, you know, they connected with my woman and they played her and they took private voice clips, yada, yada, yada. I want to make it very clear so nobody tries to infiltrate this group chat again. This private group chat behind the scenes is pretty much going to be it's going to be open to moderators and open to channel members. If you're a channel member and not a moderator, you're welcome. If you're a moderator, you're welcome. Okay? But what I will tell you is that nothing said behind the scenes is going to be a personal attack on anyone. There will be nothing said about any other groups or anything like that. This group behind the scenes is to share ideas and to keep in touch in between shows. And Don and I are also looking for people to help us build the future of my company, which is also going to be hers because we're going to get married one day, the Genuine Networking Association. And if you haven't heard, because of some things that happened last year, the Genuine Networking Association now is an LLC. We're a limited liability company. So it's Genuine Networking Association, GNA LLC. We also have a business license here in Redwood City. And we also now I have a DBA, a fictitious business name, registered for the next 5 years, and then you just renew it. It's only like $40 every 5 years. So I'm Elias Melas, DBA, genuine networking association. So, what does that mean? My Coach Eli business has always been a subsidiary of the GNA. But now that I have the DBA, it's more official because when you look at my business name is Coach Eli, Elias Melas. And so Elias Melas is my DBA for Genuine Networking Association. And where do we want to take the GNA? What we really want to do is something that I've always wanted to do, and I think we have the right people here that can help us do it. And initially, it will be voluntary work, but down the road, there will be paid positions. When we get it to the level of where it's getting enough donations where it's getting enough donations and it's sustained publicly. But what Don and I want to do is we want to create a place where anyone, no matter what their age, can contact us and we can support them against any type of bullying and harassment, especially if it's online. Now, as far as bullying and harassment in person, pretty much what a lot of kids will do in school nowadays is use the internet to bully, other kids in their class and make them look bad. So basically, the whole bullying thing has gone to the online world. So basically, it's, they used to call it cyberbullying and harassment. Cyberbullying and harassment. But now even YouTube has changed its label to bullying and harassment because bullying is a broad term for being bullied online or offline, and offline bullying goes hand in hand with online bullying. Does that make sense? Put a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. They charge $110, and it's for life on the DBAs in Louisiana. That's pretty good. Well, Raleigh, I'm in California, and they charge us for everything. And everything here, including our licenses, our driver's licenses, are good for 5 years, and then we have to renew. But a lifetime DBA, that's pretty good. Now, you didn't need a DBA for your repair business because it had your name in it, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but you did not need a DBA for your repair business because it has your name in it. But any other business that doesn't have your name in it specifically, you got to DBA it. Give me a second. I'm on the third lap here, and I'm just going to get into the shade. Check out the chat again. Thank you so much to the 32 people that are here. And thank you again to Vin S for your $4.99, which is W7 now. W7 channel. It used to be Vin S for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Tia, for your $20 super chat. And also thank you, Lucy, for your $49.99 super chat. God bless you. Happy Independence Day. Happy 4th of July. And Raleigh, thank you for continuing to be a $99.99 super fan sponsor. If you ever need to reduce that at any time, go right ahead, man. I mean, that's quite a lot. It's quite a lot. But thank you. I'm not willing to say how my businesses are structured here, but I can email you if you'd like to know. Oh, no, don't worry about it, dude. You don't have to put it out there. You don't have to put it out there, dude. I was just saying that that typically from what I've learned, is that if your name is in the title of your business, you do not need a DBA. You only need one if your name is not in it. So yeah, no, you don't have to say anything. No, not a big deal, dude. That's all I was saying. And I don't want to, I don't want to make you work anymore on the 4th or the 5th of this month. Take some time off and spend some time with your family, dude. Don't worry about me. But I appreciate it, though. I really do. I really do. TS says 1, AZ Prod 1, Buyer Repair Guy 1. If I'm not using an active business, says Buyer Repair Guy, somebody could challenge my DBA, but I'm using them, both of them. Well, yeah, no, you have to be actively using your business, right? So, whenever you have any type of, business setup, you have to be actively using it. So I've been actively using the GNA online, even though we haven't run in-person networking events in years, but we will. I have many Facebook group pages where people still send referrals through, right? We got a LinkedIn group page. That one is more private because it's more professional. I also, like I said, one thing for the GNA is we've changed our classification. We used to be classified as a business, referral network group that exchanges leads and referrals. Now we can still do that, but we've changed our classification. I've changed it to something that more so suits what I'm doing today and what I've also always done on top of business networking, and that's personal development. So the classification for the GNA is personal development, self-help, personal development. And self-help, personal development, you can go about that in so many different ways. You can teach people how to be an entrepreneur and help them build a referral network, right? You can also help encourage people in positive ways, uplift them, through positive reinforcement and stuff like that, right? There are so many ways you can go with, finding the right classification code. Now, we still did do personal development when we were classified as a business referral network group. But now, we still do referrals, but we are more focused on the personal development, especially myself, with what I do out here on YouTube. So that's why, when I got the LLC and took care of some other things, I changed the class code of the GNA. I think that's the best way I can explain it without getting into personal stuff. So my corporation is not my name. Then I have LLCs underneath that. Then under the LLCs, I have DBAs. Yeah, well, you have to have an LLC from what I've learned, you have to have a DBA if your LLC doesn't have your name in it, you have to get a DBA. Now, from what I hear, if you incorporate, you don't need a DBA, from what I hear. So if you incorporate, you don't need a DBA. But if you have an LLC, a limited liability company, then you need to have a DBA if your name is not in the business, first, last name, etc. Mainly we have and what else were you going to say there? Man, what a warm day. I'm surprised the park is not that busy. Usually people will barbecue at the park and have fiestas. Maybe they came out here earlier. And typically we have a parade here every 4th of July in downtown Redwood City. But I haven't been to the parade in years. And I avoid that area during the parade because you just can't get around. All the side streets are blocked. So typically on the 4th of July, I'll sleep in until I got up early and then went back to bed with Dawn and we slept in until the early afternoon. and then everything starts to loosen up. Parades and stuff are done. Streets are reopened. But I'm surprised that the park is pretty much dead. It's been a peaceful walk. That's cool. I think the reason why you don't need a DBA for a corporation where your name is not a part of the name of the corporation, because a corporation, I believe, needs to have a board of directors. You need to have a board of directors. With an LLC, you don't need that. With a corporation, you also need to write articles of incorporation, and it's a big pain in the ass. It's a big pain in the ass unless you're a huge business. So if you're like an entrepreneur, go ahead, man.
Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions?
What's that? All right, we're back live. We are back live. Let me know if you folks can hear me and see me. So some dude, he's probably like maybe 15, 16. He was on a big mountain bike, riding his bike on the sidewalk, which you're not supposed to fucking ride your bike on the sidewalk. The sidewalk is for pedestrians. If you come out here, you will see they have the bicycle supposed to be going like this person right there. See? That's how you ride your damn bike, not on the damn sidewalk. Let me show you folks a clearer, non-worn down image of how most streets are, at least here, and they're this way pretty much in all areas. You see that? See that? The bikes are supposed to use the same road as the cars, but you're supposed to ride along the side so the cars can pass you. This dude was here on the sidewalk. Then he stops. He stops, and then I stop, and he keeps going, and then I stop. I'm waiting for him to pass around. And so then he started to look at me. He's like, "May I ask you something? Mind if I ask you something?" "Yeah." "What are you streaming?" "Oh, I'm not streaming, I'm recording a video." You tell them that you're streaming, and they're going to start to do stupid shit, right? You got to play these mofos, right? Because they're trying to troll you in real time. And what you don't understand, dude, is that I've been trolled more than anyone, online and offline. You can't troll me in the real world and try to ruin my broadcast. I'll go offline for a second, and then I'll tell you that I'm doing a pre-recorded self-help video. Oh, I'm just recording. I'm not live. I'm just recording a pre-recorded video for my YouTube channel. I do life coaching. "Oh, all right, dude. Keep on keeping on. Right, dude. Right on, bro." "Mind if I ask you what you're doing?" "What does it look like I'm doing?" "I'm holding a selfie stick, and I've got a camera in my face here, and a microphone." Even the cops don't bother me. They know what the hell I'm doing. Jesus Christ, man. Never tell them you're live. Never. I've learned how to use the YouTube system even on mobile. I'll go offline for a second, and you guys won't hear what's going on. They won't even pick them up. Right when I saw him, coming at me, I flipped up, went offline, and once he was gone, went right back online. By your paragraph, we mainly have the DBAs because we own different branding, and people write checks to the name of the branding, not the company that allows us to deposit checks in the brand name. Oh, that makes sense, Raleigh. So basically what you could do is you could be, RJ, DBA this, DBA that. And then they can even write you a business check to your name, is what you're probably saying. or you have one main business that's like, it's kind of like the parent company, right? Kind of like what Alphabet Inc. is to Google, right? So a lot of people know that YouTube is owned by Google, but Google is owned by Alphabet Inc. Alphabet Inc. is the parent company to Google. But YouTube is a part of the Google suite of products. That's why technically, Google owns YouTube, but Alphabet Inc. owns all of Google, which owns YouTube. So you're talking about you got one parent company, right? And so that one parent company has subsidiaries, and you can accept payment to one name for everything, make it simple, simplify the process, right? I get it. That makes a lot of sense. You are a pro at mobile live streaming. I appreciate that, Raleigh. I'm just trying to figure out ways that that work, I've had to figure out ways on how to block trolls. I've had to figure out ways how to not let people I encounter on my walks affect my shows. Learn how to manipulate the YouTube app and block words and all that. It's been a hell of a ride, man, I'll tell you. But thank you. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. It's been like 6 years in the making, and it's nowhere nearly done. We're only just beginning, man. No, but you know what? Raleigh, buy a repair guy. You know what I think we should do at some point? And I think it would be better to do this on your LifeWorks Drunk channel. I think you, myself, and some of the people over here, we could do a panel show and just talk about what we've experienced and where we're at now and where we're heading and where we want to head. Many of us have been drowning in drama for years, trying to get away. And finally, after 6 years, and fighting hard against a bunch of garbage, finally, we've overcome this. And I think it could be a lesson learned for anyone out there that plans on becoming a YouTuber, because a lot of people are going to go through trolling. I don't know if they'll ever get it as bad as I got it, but you never know. But at least, no matter what level they get it, they'll know how to handle it and move past it much quicker than we all did. You know what I mean? I think, Raleigh, that you, myself, and several others that are here now, part of this group, have a lot of experience to be able to help other people move in the right direction instead of getting caught up in endless garbage, nonsensical, stupid drama with other channels on YouTube that want to suck you in to that vortex and use you as their content. And that's where I want to take my company, partially the Genuine Networking Association, GNA, is to help advocate for those that are being harmed online and to help create relationships with maybe the FBI and the FTC and other government agencies where we can be the liaison and do all the work. Like if someone's being bullied and harassed, if someone's being severely attacked, we can do all the legwork and then give all that paperwork to the FBI, and all they have to do is quickly handle the situation, right? There has to be an organization that fights for bullying and harassment. Because when it comes to the FBI that's in charge of all that, they only take action once something goes wrong. And that's only if it involves somebody, getting killed or somebody being beat up badly. Like, they don't take any action until something bad, really bad happens. But why can't we do things to prevent the bad from happening, right? Now, I get the FBI doesn't have the resources to do all the work. But what if we did it? What if we, the people, created an organization, a nonprofit organization, to do all the prep work and the legwork, and then hand it over in one nice digital file to the FBI digitally, and then just point them in the right direction. All they have to do is handle it. The FBI could say, hey, we've got all this evidence that you're bullying and harassing this person. We are not keeping an eye on you, the FBI is. If you continue doing this, then you will face charges. I bet you if the FBI directly threatened some of these bullies online, they would stop, right? Wouldn't you think? If you think the FBI threatening these people to stop the bullying or they'll take action, the actual FBI, then do you not think they would listen? I think they would. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that would work. But the FBI doesn't do that because they don't have the resources to do the paperwork, the legwork, right? To research what's happening. So we do all the work for them. Then all they have to do is say, hey, look, we got all this information on you here, and you're violating bullying and harassment laws. If you don't stop, we will take further action against you, right? TS says 1, Bay Area Repair Guy says 1. TS says it's a much needed cause, a lot could be accomplished, right? Bay Area Repair Guy, I'm happy to host a panel anytime you'd like. And I can also make you a managing moderator so that way you can host the panels from your stream yard. I wouldn't do that anyway. Don't worry about that. I just want Raleigh. Let me say how I work. When other people run the panels, I want them getting all the views and the credit. Like you got to understand. I get what you're saying, and many people do that. If we're going to do some panels on your channel, I will promote you on my community wall. I'm not going to rebroadcast that stuff. I don't rebroadcast anybody. We want to send the people there. So I appreciate it, but yes, I want us to do a panel like that, if possible, over the next couple of weeks. Now, we're going to be going off the air in about 5 to 10 minutes, folks. I'm about to wrap things up here. I'm about to turn the corner and head back to the parking lot. We are at 82 minutes, an hour and 22 minutes. What was I going to say? I totally forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. What I want to do right now, folks, is get people to connect with me on Facebook. Send me a friend request on Facebook. I believe Cynthia is the only one. I haven't accepted your friend request yet, Cynthia. I will. Everyone, go to facebook.com/Elias Melas 73, ELIAS MELAS 73. Facebook.com/Elias Melas 73. Send me a friend request. What I will do is I will send you a voice message in Messenger once you send me a friend request, and I'll send you my voice, and you send me your voice back to verify it's actually you. Once you verify it's you, I will accept your friend request, and I will bring you into the Coach Eli moderator group chat on Facebook that has Queen Helen Casey in it, Sifu Smo Dion, Alex the Beer Master, Queen Helen Casey, Don is in there, and myself. We had a lot more people in there in the past, and a lot of those voice messages, you saw that Coach J guy put out, him and his wife, Anna, basically took advantage of Dawn when she was new and basically got her to say certain things, and then they clipped a lot of that stuff out of context. So we're not going to have that anymore. Like, honestly, Dawn's very careful with what she says now. So if you're thinking about joining this group and you're going to pull something like that, we're not going to let it happen. Plus, we're not going to allow anyone to join the group that we know has ever attacked us in one way or another. This is only open to are moderators, and if you're not a moderator but you're a channel member, and that's a channel member that's not blocked, because there are channel members that are channel members for the wrong reasons. If you're a channel member in good standing for the right reasons, you'll be welcomed into the group. Now everyone says 1, Tia 1, Bay Area Repair Guy 1, Lucy 1, AZ Prod 1. Yeah, yeah. So I want to connect with you folks on Facebook, add you to the group, and then from there we can start to talk more regularly. We can discuss what topics we want to talk about. If you have a YouTube channel, we can collaborate with you, like with Raleigh and other people. We can send out information in that one chat group much easier and quicker than email. So if we're about to go, let's say we've got 30 people in that Facebook group page, right? The Facebook Messenger group chat, right? If we're about to go live, we can send one message there with the link to Raleigh's channel, and boom, there we go. Now you should be subscribed with the bell on, but as a backup, we can always send the link in this group chat, and we can also discuss future topics, and we can also, discuss moving other things forward, like the GNA and what we've been talking about here and other stuff. So please connect with Don and I. First, just connect with me on Facebook.com/Elias Melas 73. That's my actual personal profile. Connect with me there. And then I'll reach out to you through Facebook Messenger, verify it's you. Once I verify it's you, I'll accept your friend request, and then I'll add you to the Coach Eli moderator group chat. And we'll go from there. Folks, I will not be coming back for a night show I was going to do the fireworks show live, or a pre-recorded for a pre-recorded show for the main channel with Don and I watching the fireworks, but I'm taking the night off and spending it with my lady. I'm going to take the rest of the night off, and more than likely I'll be back at some point tomorrow with an in-studio stream and then another walk. And Dawn has a hair appointment tomorrow in the afternoon, so probably not going to walk until later on in the evening tomorrow night. But there will probably be an in-studio stream at some point in the morning or early afternoon. With that being said, folks, happy Independence Day. Happy 4th of July. Please stay safe and sane. Have a good one. Take care. And once again, thank you for all the donations. Lucy for your $49.99, Tia for your $20, and Vin S, a.k.a. W7, for your $4.99, for a total of almost $75. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other.